And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute, and he did not succeed. But there, where Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Khorinis.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However...
Yes?
You should take your message to the Paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
Since you are not yet a member of our community, I cannot tell you everything, of course. But I shall tell you what I may.
Who are the members of the Ring of Water, then?
I cannot tell you that until you join the ring, but you will certainly have met some of them by that time.
Where are the other water mages?
They are exploring the ruins of an old culture northeast of Khorinis. We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island which is as yet uncharted.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Satyrus with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Innos and the chaos of Beliar. If one of the two sides should gain the upper hand, it will mean either total loss of freedom or deadly chaos. Therefore, we guard the balance between the two. That's what makes life in this world possible for all.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous threats. The bandits are probably the most obvious one. Not only has it become all but impossible to travel the island without being attacked, there's someone in town, too, who supports the bandits. We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Khorinis. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that. About those missing people.
Yes?
Where should I start looking for them?
Most of those people disappeared down by the harbor. That's probably where you should start your search.
Let me tell you what I know.
What have you found out?
Nothing important so far. About this weapons dealer. How much do you know about the weapons dealer?
Ask Martin, the provisions master of the Paladins, about this. He should be able to tell you more. He has been tasked with unmasking the weapons dealer. You can find Martin in the Harbor District. If you see a heap of crates, provision, and paladins, Martin won't be far.
Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're very persistent, young man. But I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisps. There are only very few of them. The will-o'-the-wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The will-o'-the-wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to you in investigating the weapons deliveries to the bandits. Treat it well, and it will never fail you.
A will-o'-the-wisp in an amulet?
Will-o'-the-wisps are admirable creatures. They consist of pure magical energy. They are bound to the magical ore in this world. It is their origin. It gives them their strength. I'm not surprised that you've never heard of them. They only appear to the person who bears the ore to which they belong. Will-o'-the-wisps living in the wild have been forcefully removed from their sources. They will attack anyone who approaches them. There is no way to help those pitiful creatures. You had better stay away from them.
Can the will-o'-the-wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Satyrus. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it. I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
Where can I find a priest of Innos?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace. You will find an emissary of the monastery there.
Can you teach me something about magic?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanos are permitted to work rune magic. But common mortals can also work magic with the help of spell scrolls. I can show you how you can channel and expand your magic powers.
Tell me about the gods.
What exactly would you like to know?
Tell me about Beliar.
Beliar is the dark god of death, destruction, and all things unnatural. He is in eternal battle with Innos, but Adanos guards the balance between the two. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar. However, he grants great strength to those who do.
Tell me about Adanos.
Adanos is the god of the center. He is the scales of justice and guardian of the balance between Innos and Beliar. He commands the power of change. His gift is the water in all the oceans, rivers, and lakes. His priests are the water mages, just as I am a servant and priest of Adanos.
Tell me about Innos.
Very well. Innos is the first and highest god. He created the sun and the world. He commands light and fire, his gifts to humanity. He is law and justice. His priests are the magicians of fire. The paladins are his warriors. Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it. That in this place, order and chaos were equal.
Well,
and
what have we here?
The sea
Have
was
you no
created.
manners? That's disgusting. Oh, is this filthy rabble.
And the sea
Haven't you a job
released
where
the
you ought to
land.
be? But I
And
suppose no
there
one would miss a
rose
down-at-heel
all
fella like you,
creatures,
hey?
trees as
Well, if you
well
had
as
as much
animals,
gold as I do,
wolves
you
as
wouldn't
well
have
as
to work
sheep,
either.
and last of
But
all,
you'll never be that rich.
arose
I see
a
I'm gonna have
human.
lots of fun with you.
And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen.
I asked you who you are.
Delighted
I am
in all
Valentino,
beings
the
equal.
handsome, bon vivant and ladies' man.
But so
Poor in
great
cares,
was the
rich
wrath
in
of
wisdom and gold,
Beliar
and the
that
women
he came
throw
across the
themselves at
land
me.
and
If you have
chose the
problems, keep
beast.
them. I don't
And
need them.
Beliar spoke to it, and the beast
Looks like I'm gonna
became
have to
his
teach you some
subject.
manners.
And Beliar
Doesn't matter to
gave
me.
unto
Thrash
it
me
a
all you want.
portion
When I
of
get up
his
tomorrow, I'll be
divine
fine
power,
again.
so that
But
it
you'll
might
have to run around with that
destroy the
mug of
land.
yours for life.
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Make yourself
Enos
popular.
held
Never
what
promise
Beliar had
anything to
done,
anyone.
and
Take
he
what you
also
can and
bestrode
watch
the
out that you
land
don't get into a
and
quarrel with
chose
the militia.
the human.
Or with jealous
And
husbands, of
Enos
course.
spoke
They're the
to him,
worst, let me
and
tell
the
you.
human became his subject. And Enos gave unto him a portion of his divine power, so that he might undo the work of Beliar. And Beliar spoke.
Says things like that. That's an open secret.
Hey, you! One more thing.
Typical.
Listen, kid. I've got important things to do right now. We'll talk again later, got it?
He simply talks too much.
I am Hacker, the weapons dealer.
Someone's
Every man should carry a weapon these days, especially when venturing outside of the city walls.
Who says things
Tell me more about the area around the city.
It's gotten too dangerous out there. Because of the bandits, for one thing. And also on account of wild beasts. Even the animals don't seem to get enough to eat in these crappy times. They're venturing closer to the city all the time.
Do you know anything about the paladins?
Yes. Those guys are ruining my business. All you can buy in this entire town is a short sword at most. They've helped themselves to anything that's longer than 1.5 feet. In return, I now get to live in the hotel free of charge.
Where do you get your weapons from?
Harad the smith has been my supplier up to now. Now all he does is make stuff for the paladins. He works for those guys day and night like a madman, without pay. He thinks it's his duty. All I can offer you now is my remaining stock.
What do you know about the disappearances of the citizens of Khorinis?
I have seen many pass through the eastern city gate. Some of those who came I had never seen before in my life. And many of those who went out never came back. But what happened the other day was really quite strange. There was this fellow who came here. I think his name is Joe. He bragged that he would soon come into some serious money. He claimed that he knew how to get into one of the city towers, where the militia keep their arms. I haven't seen him since, even though I used to bump into him around the same time every day. I reported this to the militia. I thought that maybe he had been caught and thrown into the dungeon, but Lord Andre had no idea what I was talking about. He didn't even know the fella.
What do you know about the bandits?
What do I know about them? They robbed me on my way to the city, and I'm not the only one. They've been up to their tricks for quite a while. The militia tried to track them down, but without any success.
Who says things like that?
Do you know who in the militia took part in the search?
The fellow's name is Pablo. He and a few others went looking for the bandits, but they didn't find them.
Do you know where I can find Pablo?
He patrols around the city. You'll find him either at the Temple Square or in the lower part of town.
He'd better shut up.
Where did they hold you up?
Near Akil's farm.
If I hadn't seen it.
Just go out of the city gate from here. Follow the road to the right. After a while, you'll get to a few steps. The bastards came from there. I bet they have their hideout back there in the woods.
Everybody knows about
I'll deal with it.
What? You want to take on the bandits?
things like
By yourself? You're quite a good fighter, huh?
How much is the matter worth to you?
That's a dangerous business. Well, it's all right with me. I'll pay you 100 gold pieces if you defeat the bandits.
That's an
Show me your wares.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself. I don't believe that. He had better shut up.
Innos be with you, stranger. If you're looking for a good selection for the traveler, then you're in the right place. But I'm warning you, if you're planning on helping yourself without paying, I'll call the city guard.
Just a moment. Do I look like a thief?
Bah! You won't be the first one to make off with my things today.
If I hadn't seen it.
Somebody stole from you.
I can't prove it. The fellow was damn clever. Introduced himself as Ringaru, if that really is his right name. He's been hanging around the marketplace the last few days. And every evening he gets plastered at the beer stand down the street. I bet the bastard is drinking my money. I only looked away for a moment, and my purse was gone.
I could get your gold back for you.
Oh, and why would you do that?
Myself. Now that's typical, isn't it?
Well, that depends.
If I hadn't
Can you help
seen
me
it
get into the upper quarter?
You've got the wrong
These are
man.
bad times.
I'm from out of town like most of the merchants in the marketplace. If you want to get into the upper quarter, go talk to the resident merchants in the lower part of town.
I want part of the gold as a reward.
First, see if you can get my purse back. Then, we'll talk about your reward.
Why didn't you call the city guard?
The guards only respond if a thief is caught in the act. And when I noticed my purse was missing, the bastard was already gone.
That's not what my husband thinks.
How much gold was in that purse?
50 gold pieces. That's quite a lot in these crappy times.
It's going to get even worse.
I'll see what I can do.
Be careful. If you just knock the bastard down, the city guard will get involved. Lately, things have been getting really tough here. Since the Paladins came to town, the guards have been cracking down on brawlers. So think of something.
I shall.
Better shut up.
Show me your wares.
I don't believe that. Really, how interesting. He had better shut up.
I'm Zurus, Master of Potions. Do you need an essence of healing or a magic elixir? Then you've come to the right place.
Do you brew your own potions?
No, I either get them from the monastery or I buy them from Constantino, the alchemist. If you're interested in brewing potions, then talk to him. He needs an assistant, but he's too pig-headed to hire someone himself. He's just as stubborn as a mule. He always passes me when he goes out on the East Gate to collect plants for his potions.
Where exactly does Constantino gather his herbs?
He always goes through the eastern city gate here and then disappears into the wilderness to the left. He once told me that just about everything grows there, except for King Sorrel.
He had better shut up.
Has Constantino ever told you where to find King Sorrel?
I once heard him say that the stuff grows near stone circles, near Lobart's farm. That's a farm near the other gate. There's one of those stone circles. I think it's on a hill. It used to be a grave or something.
That's typical, isn't it?
Show me your wares.
And it's going to get even worse. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. I don't believe that. I can't take care of everything for everybody. Don't tell this to anyone. But that's terrible. He can't keep anything.
How's business?
When the Paladins came, I first thought that it was a good business opportunity. But they let Herod make their weapons, and neither Hakon nor I make even one gold piece off them. Moreover, the farmers no longer supply us with food, and all the prices have gone up. It's only a small consolation that the Paladins are paying my hotel bill.
What's the problem with the farmers?
They refuse to deliver their goods. Now that the ships no longer come in, the city depends entirely on the supplies provided by the farmers, of course. And Onar, the largest farmer, has hired mercenaries to protect his farm from the city guards. Otherwise, they'd simply snatch the goods for themselves. But the mercenaries don't just guard Onar's farm. They come as far as the small farms outside of town to intimidate the farmers. I saw them as I was passing Akil's farm. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes now.
Where will I find Akil's farm?
If you go out of the east gate here and follow the road to the right, you'll come to a stairway. It leads up to Akil's farm, but I wouldn't go there now. The mercenaries are certainly still there.
Can't keep any. Someone's gonna do the work.
Show me your wares.
Who says things like that? Take care of everything for everybody.
And it's gonna get even worse.
Really, how interesting.
What can I do for you? Are you seeking spiritual comfort?
Honestly.
Do you want to direct a prayer to our Lord Enos, or donate some gold for his church?
He simply talks too much.
I need to talk to the Paladins. Can you help me get to them?
Well, you need access to the upper end of town. However, this is allowed only to citizens and the city guard. And of course, to us, magicians of fire.
How can I become a fire magician?
You must join our order as a novice. When you have served for a time, perhaps you will be accepted into the ranks of the magicians. However, the path to acceptance is long and full of work and study.
And it's gonna get even worse. Who says things like that?
I've come to get your blessing.
That's good. That's good. Then you will probably want to donate gold to the Holy Church of Enos, won't you?
Actually, I wanted your blessing so I can sign on as an apprentice in the lower part of town.
But my son, without a modest donation to the church, it is impossible for me to bless you. How else can I be certain of your good intentions toward the Holy Church of Enos?
If I hadn't seen it, that's what I've always
So, how much does a donation usually run to here?
Well, that depends on what percentage you want to give, son. Let me see how much you brought. You have more than 100 gold pieces. The Lord says give if you have. The church accepts your generous donation. I bless you in the name of Innos, for he is light and righteousness.
Where do you come from?
I come from the monastery of the magicians, which lies in the mountains. We accept everyone there who is pure of heart and feels the desire to serve our almighty Lord Innos.
Tell me about Innos.
Innos, our almighty Lord, is the light and the fire. He chooses humans to be his tool, giving them magic and laws. We act in his name. We administer justice according to his will and preach his word.
Tell me more about the monastery.
We instruct our students in all forms of magic. But the arts of the magicians of fire consist of more than these alone. We are also well versed in the art of alchemy and in the creation of powerful runes. We also make excellent wine.
What are you doing in town?
I have discussions with the paladins and support the citizens with my advice and with helpful words. Particularly in these difficult times, it is our duty to be there for the people and to help the poor.
I won't tell her a thing from now on. You don't say.
These are bad times.
Welcome, stranger. My name is Baltrop.
That's an open
Have you
secret.
come to stock up on food? I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I don't have much in stock right now, but
Who says things
I'll
like
be
that?
getting a new delivery soon.
And he works.
Show me your wares.
And he works all day.
Have you got a job for me?
No, I already have an errand boy.
Tell this to anyone.
Try the other merchants.
These are bad times.
How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you? Never mind. Neither am I.
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times. There's a lot of riffraff running around out there.
Everybody knows by now.
Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern, halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there's anyone left in the camp now. There used to be 2 of us here in town, until a few days ago. My friend Trokar is an excellent hunter.
That's an open
Bosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Bosper had one of his bows stolen recently in broad daylight. Some guy just waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Teach me how to sneak around.
All right, so first, you have to make sure that you shift your weight properly. To achieve that, bend your knees and always put your foot down heel first. Make sure that you always keep your weight on the foot you're standing on until you've got your other foot securely placed. Most creatures you can't sneak up on unless they're sleeping. The beasts just smell you. So always pay close attention when you're out there.
I want to be able to handle a bow better.
Okay then, let's see if I can teach you anything.
I don't believe that.
So, where is your friend Trokar now?
Well, it's a curious story. Only a few days ago, we were both standing at the bar in Corrigan's Tavern, discussing the hunt. Don't ask me what happened next. I had had a few by then. I vaguely remember Trokar saying that he was going out to get a few swamp weed reefers. He never came back.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Didn't you go looking for him?
No, but I reported it to the militia, but they haven't been able to find him yet. I hope he didn't get attacked by a wolf, or worse. I'm afraid that I'll stumble over his body someday when I'm out hunting. I don't think I could bear that.
But that's terrible.
Where does one get swamp weed reefers?
Somewhere down at the harbor, as far as I know.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Why don't we go hunting together?
With two, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Busper. That's a fair deal, isn't it?
Here they are.
Hey, you. I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in prison. You pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
What's in it for me?
When I have the stall, you will get a weapon from me, and a damned good one.
What will happen if I refuse to do that?
That would be truly stupid of you, because you see, I know that you're an escaped convict. If that gets around, it could do considerable harm to your situation in the city.
All right, looks like I've got no choice.
You're a clever lad. Here is the letter.
How am I supposed to foist the letter on her?
Let her show you her wares, and while she does, you hide the letter on her. And bear in mind, I am an influential man in the city, so don't try to play me for a fool.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Show me your wares. Jorah says you've got his money.
Damn it! I'm out of here!
Gotcha!
Hey, what do you want from me? Huh?
You stole from Jorah in broad daylight, and he even saw you do it. So I've come to tell you that you're a lousy thief, and that you had better hand over Jorah's gold now.
Here's the dough, man! But now let me go! I'll never do it again!
I should turn you into the militia.
What else do you want? I've got nothing left. Let me go, man!
Why would I want to do that?
In the city, it's always good to know the right people and to stay on their good side. I could put in a good word for you. I can't and won't say more. The rest is up to you.
Get lost and don't show your face around here again.
Oh, you won't regret this. Thanks, man.
By reason of the imminent danger of an attack by orcs.
I know nothing about picking locks. What are you doing here?
I'm training the boys to use a crossbow and help them become a little more dexterous.
Could you train me?
No, I only train the men in the service of the king, nobody else. But we can always use good people. So if you want to join the militia, go talk to Lord Andre.
What do you want? Peck isn't here, so you can't get anything. Come back later.
I want to get stronger.
Of course you do. But so long as you aren't one of us, or a paladin, I won't help you.
How's your duty?
Oh, these boys swing their swords like farmers. But when I'm done with them, every single one of them will be a tough, hard bastard.
I want to join the militia.
So, are you a citizen of the town?
No.
Then Lord Andre won't take you. Sure, you can talk to him, but I don't think he'll make an exception for you.
What's it like with the militia?
Lord Andre is our commander now. The militia used to report to the governor. He had no idea what we do here. But Lord Andre knows what he's doing. He takes good care of the men. Everyone who starts here gets some decent armor and a good weapon. And there are bonuses if you've done a good job. He pays a bounty for every criminal captured.
Can you also train me in sword fighting?
Lord Andre has ordered that we train everyone who is in a position to defend the city. But that's only true for combat training. All other kinds of training are reserved for the militia. Can you at least halfway handle a weapon?
I think so.
All right, you can start when you're ready.
What are the advantages of one- or two-handed weapons?
Quite simple. With a one-handed weapon, you're faster. That can be a considerable advantage in battle. Two-handed weapons are more ponderous. You have to fight with foresight, but you can do a lot more damage when you're hit.
Where should I start, with one-handed or two-handed weapons?
That's entirely up to you. If you specialize in only one type of weapon, you automatically learn the other at the same time. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. In that case, the training is more exhausting than if you train with both types of weapons. Just start and you'll soon see what I'm talking about.
Let's begin with the training.
Inos be with you, stranger. What brings you to me?
I've got an important message for Lord Hagen.
Well, you stand before one of his men. What is this about?
That I must tell Lord Hagen myself.
Suit yourself. But you should know one thing. Lord Hagen receives only paladins, or those who are in the service to paladins. It is beneath his dignity to waste his time with members of the common folk.
I want to take up service with the paladins.
Good. I can well use every able man here, no matter what his reasons for joining us. If you place yourself in the service of the paladins, I shall help you get an audience with Lord Hagen. However, I have my orders only to accept citizens of the town into the militia. My commander is afraid that spies or saboteurs could sneak in. He wants to limit the risk this way. Therefore, you must first be a citizen of the town. Whether this rule makes sense or not is disputable, but orders are orders.
Why are you paladins in town?
The goals of our mission are secret. I can only tell you that there is no danger for the citizens of the town. You need not worry.
What should I expect with the militia?
Let me make one thing clear. To be a soldier of the militia means much more than strolling through the city in a uniform. It is a dirty and even bloody job. Once you are one of us, a great deal of work will be waiting for you. But it is worth it. Besides the pay, you might someday have the chance of becoming a holy warrior of Innos.
About those missing people.
Just leave me alone with that. I've got other problems.
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal. Sarah is selling weapons to Onar.
Sarah? The weapons merchant in the marketplace? Do you have proof of that?
She has a letter in her pocket which details the delivery of arms to him.
She won't get away with that. I shall have her arrested.
What do you want here?
What can you tell me about this area?
These are the barracks. Where do you want to go?
Thanks, that's all I wanted to know. I want to see the prisoners.
Go ahead, but don't stay away too long. Understood?
Wait a minute.
Well done. Sarah is where she belongs. I have taken over her goods, so if you need a weapon, come to me.
You were going to give me a weapon.
Correct. Here, this weapon is a masterpiece of the blacksmith's art.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
About the thief.
Yes, how's it going? Have you caught him? And much more importantly, do you have my gold?
I'm still working on it.
Then see to it that you get my gold back. Yeah.
He got away from me.
And what about my gold? Did he get away with it?
Here's the 50 gold pieces he stole from you.
Innos be praised. There is still justice in the city.
I want part of the gold as a reward.
If it's gold you want, then hunt down the thieves and collect the bounty from Lord Andre. Now, I must get back to my customers.
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a room.
Ah, you're in the right place then.
One of the paladins told me that I could spend the night here for free.
Yes, yes. Just go up the stairs. We still have 1 or 2 beds free.
Why do the paladins pay for everything?
I don't know what that's all about either. For one thing, I think they want to get all the poor suckers off the streets so they don't make any mischief. And for another, they want to get on the good side of the traveling traders. Now that the farmers are rebelling, we have to rely on the traders for provisions. Besides, I think they want to improve the morale in the city a bit. Lord Andre has even arranged for free beer to be given out at the Gala Square.
Who's staying here at the moment?
Almost all of them are traveling traders from the market.
Aha!
Don't even think about messing with their stuff. I don't want any trouble here.
I have a few questions about the city. Tell me about the town.
Khorinis is one of the wealthiest cities within the kingdom, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment. But since the Orc War started, trade has almost come to a complete standstill. The king has requisitioned the entire merchant fleet for military service, which means that hardly any ships come into the harbor now. So, the supply of goods is very scarce now, and many citizens of the town are very worried. Nobody really knows what the future will bring. There's basically nothing we can do but wait and see what happens. It's not like we can change anything.
Where can I buy something around here?
The market is directly in front of the door. You should be able to find everything there. There are a few more shops and craftsmen on the other side of town. Most of them are near the other city gate. Also, there's a fishmonger in the harbor district. His shop is right at the harbor. He's easy to find.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter will be further strengthened.
What are you doing here?
I'm a novice from the monastery. I run errands for the magicians and also the paladins. I have provided the 3 innkeepers in the city with wine from the monastery.
Who are the 3 innkeepers?
One of them is the good man here behind the bar. Then there is Kerrigan, who has his tavern on the Temple Square, and Cardiff, the owner of the tavern in the Harbor District.
What can you tell me about the monastery?
We novices seek enlightenment in prayer to Innos and learn the principles of faith from the magicians. We serve them as we serve Innos and prepare ourselves for the union with the fire.
Well, take me to the monastery.
Forget it. Do you know how many creatures I had to evade on the way? When I think of all those bloodflies, wolves, and goblins, I'm glad that I don't have to leave here anymore. Besides, you can't enter the monastery anyway.
Why not?
Entrance is only permitted to magicians, paladins, and novices.
How can I become a novice?
If a man feels the deep desire...
Hey, just tell me what the conditions are.
You need the offerings, a sheep and 1,000 gold pieces.
How am I supposed to get that much gold?
Since you obviously don't know anyone who would pay that for you, you'll simply have to go to work.
You already know what I think. That doesn't surprise me.
Where can I find a sheep?
From the farmers, of course. But you won't get one for nothing.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Hear ye, and from this moment onward, Lord Andre will take the supreme... All the citizens of this city...
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
It can't go on like this forever. I never knew that. You listen to the wrong people.
How strange. It seems to me that I have met you before, traveler. Well, great are the mysteries of time and space.
Nothing surprises me.
Oh, please forgive my rudeness, son of patience. I have not even greeted you yet. Welcome, friend.
I'm not telling you anything.
Take a seat on my humble rocks and enjoy a pipe in peace.
Who are you?
My name is Abu Jin ibn Jabir ibn Omar Khalid bin Haji al-Sharidi. I am a seer and a prophet, an astrologer, and a purveyor of tobacco.
What kind of tobacco do you offer?
My pipes are filled with spicy, refreshing apple tobacco. Help yourself whenever you want, son of adventure.
Do you have other tobacco as well?
I offer only the very best tobacco. This apple plant is a symphony for my homeland, the Southern Isles. But, of course, I'm always open to trying a different sort of tobacco. If somebody should succeed in producing a really good tobacco.
How's that done?
Start with my apple tobacco as a basis, and then try combining it with another ingredient. This is done at an alchemist's bench, provided you know the essentials of alchemy.
Where can I get apple tobacco?
I shall give you 2 portions. It is up to you, in your wisdom, to do with them whatever you want. If you crave more, then direct your steps toward Zuris, the master of potions. He produces this tobacco, and he sells it too.
Everybody knows by now.
Can you make me a prophecy?
My services are yours for a modest fee. Oh, father of generosity.
How much do you want?
For a paltry 25 coins. I shall risk a glance through time for you. But remember, the future is always uncertain. All I can do is glimpse some fragments of time.
That's exactly what I said.
Tell me about the future.
All right, seeker of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready? Orcs. They are guarding an entry, an old tunnel,
These are bad times.
a valley of mines, men in shining armor. A magician. Your friend is with them. He is waiting for you. Fire! An attack! A mighty creature. Flames. Many shall die. What is that? A city. Ruins. Quarholdron in Jarkandar. He is summoned.
That's what I always say.
Quarholdron in Jarkandar. I'm sorry. The vision is over. There's nothing more I can see.
Can you make me another prophecy?
Oh, son of the mysterious future. It is not within my power to lift the veil of time. Only when time sends me another omen shall I be able to see for you again.
When will that be?
When the future has become present and you have continued your journey.
But that's terrible.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
That's not what my husband
Can't
thinks.
rely on that.
Where did you pick that up then?
Hey,
I gave Vatras your letter.
I didn't expect anything else. Thanks.
Are you still exhausted?
And how? I told Zardas everything. Now I'm going to sleep for a while. Like 1 or 2 days, or longer.
Hey, you! Have you talked to Lester yet?
Yes, I have peppered him with questions. He was able to tell me a lot, but he is completely exhausted. It's almost a miracle that he survived this escape at all. I have sent him to bed for now.
What did he tell you?
Nothing good, I'm afraid. He has seen not only a dragon, but also men in black, hooded cloaks.
And?
If these men exist, then their presence will pose a possible threat, and I don't like that. Here, take my ring. It will protect you against magic.
I've been to town.
And? Were you able to talk to the leader of the Paladins?
Well, they won't let me see him.
Nonsense. There must be a way for you to see him. If all else fails, enter the monastery and become a magician. That might be considered morally questionable, but it would get you what you need. If you were a magician, he would certainly have to see you.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Innos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy. I don't believe this is gonna
heard. Wouldn't be so sure.
They listen to me.
I never knew that.
We can only wait and see.
What do you know about the bandits?
They've all come from that blasted mining colony. But there are several splinter groups. Some are holed up in the mountains, and others have joined up with Ona, the landowner. But it's the bandits outside of town who cause the most problems. They're the reason that none of the merchants venture beyond the city gates now.
What do you know about the bandits who robbed Hakon the merchant?
Oh, that matter. Don't remind me. As far as we know, they're responsible for a lot of the attacks on merchants. Those rats have crawled into their holes and don't dare come out again. Once we were able to track them down and follow them. But we broke off pursuit in the woods outside the city. There's too many beasts roaming around there. It's much too dangerous. But there's one more thing. A few of the stolen goods have shown up in Khorinis.
This means that they know how they can smuggle the wares into town and sell them.
Yeah, we suspect they have a fence in the city. But we haven't been able to catch the guy yet. If you find out anything about the business, remember Lord Andre has posted a bounty for the fence.
Where did the bandits who had my wanted poster come from?
We picked them up near the landowner's place, but they didn't look like Onar's people. I think they're part of a smaller group which is holed up in the mountains near Onar's farm. But if you intend to go there, let me warn you, those cutthroats make short work of everyone.
I'll remember that.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
That's what I've always said. It's an open secret.
That's what I've always said. Everybody knows by now.
He never would have thought
Hey,
of
you!
He'd better shut up.
Teach me something.
Everybody knows by now.
It's a bad business. Do you really
Good. Your strength has increased.
It's not what I heard.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras?
And it's gonna get
You must have
worse.
made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
Everybody knows by now.
I can take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
I can't take care of everything for
I need your help.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
He never would have thought of that himself.
I need some money.
Don't we all? Sorry, but I have none to give you. But Lamar, the moneylender, still owes me a favor. Go to him and borrow whatever money you need. I'll take care of the rest. You'll find Lamar in the harbor district, where it borders on the lower part of town.
That's terrible.
Vatras said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
Honestly, I witnessed it.
The militia.
Yes, I can imagine you'd like that, eh? Read the law to other people while you're pocketing their purses. The paladins have set up their provisions store by the harbor. Their provisions master is a good friend of mine. Maybe he can do something for you. His name is Martin.
And he works all day too.
So what's your business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I'm doing what we all do. I fulfill the tasks the water mages give me. Some of the missing people were fishermen. They disappeared along with their boats. That's why I'm standing here, watching the harbor. Maybe something will happen yet, but you could help me. Listen, I shall give you my Aquamarine Ring. It signifies that the bearer belongs to the Ring of Water. If you wear my ring, the rest of us will know that you're acting on my behalf. Get someone to take over my duties so that I can take the ornament back. One of us is always keeping an eye on the marketplace, but I don't know whose turn it is. You had better go talk to all those standing around there. Once the right man sees my Aquamarine Ring on you, he will let you know. Tell him to see to it that somebody else takes over here at the harbor.
You don't say.
It's a bad business.
About those missing people. Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Khorinis. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
Who says things like that?
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Khorinis. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure. I want to join the Ring of Water.
That's fine with me. But the decision about whether you will be accepted or not lies with the water mages alone.
And it's gonna get even worse.
What did you do to impress the water mages?
I protected them for a long time when we were still living with the barrier, and they have plenty of reason to be grateful to me.
You don't say.
What's it like to belong to the Ring?
We are very different from the usual communities you can join here in Khorinis. Once you're one of us, we're not going to ask anything of you that you are not ready to do. The only thing we truly require of you is to keep quiet. We work in secret and do not want to let outsiders know who our members are. We shall keep an eye on you. Everything else remains to be seen.
I see. About those missing people.
You don't say. That's what I've always said.
Will it ever change?
That's an open secret. Everybody knows by now.
What do you want?
I wanted to have a look around here.
Then where exactly are you headed?
What interesting things are there to see here?
There's a cat house here and a tavern. The landlord's name is Khorinis. If it's information you want, you'll be the right person to talk to. Do you, need money, by the way?
But that's terrible.
Are you giving it away?
No, but right across the street here is the house of Lamar, the Moneylender. I'm sure he'll give you a few gold pieces. Just go ahead.
Do you work for Lamar?
Smart kid.
Don't tell this to anyone.
Actually, I was on my way to the upper quarter.
Yeah, right. And I was about to board a ship and have it take me to the king for an audience. People like you and me haven't been allowed in the upper quarter since the paladins came.
That's terrible.
Are you a citizen of this town?
If you mean do I live here? Yeah. But still they won't let me into the upper quarter. Only the tots can get in there, or the merchants and craftsmen from the lower end of town. The people from the harbor district don't carry much weight in Khorinis. There isn't even a regular militia patrol down here.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
Not long ago, the city guards turned the entire harbor district upside down. They were searching for stolen property. There've been plenty of thefts here lately, especially in the better quarters. They're obviously trying to blame the poor suckers at the harbor for everything.
Really? How interesting. Now that's typical.
How's it going?
How much do you want?
What do you mean, how much?
I'm the moneylender and you came to me. What could you want from me? Money, of course.
Well, lend me some money.
Sure. How much would you like? I charge 20%.
200 gold coins.
That's a lot of money. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and the money too. Understand?
Do you always throw your money at people like that?
Don't worry. You'll be back. Otherwise, I'll find you and kill you. It's that simple. You've got such a distinctive mug that it wouldn't take long for me to find you. So don't even think about playing around with me.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. That's not what my husband thinks.
Why are you looking so doubtful?
I see that you bear the sign of the Ring of Water.
So, are you a member too?
What if I am?
Then I would tell you that Lares wants to be relieved from his post down at the harbor.
Fine. If that's so, I'll see to it that somebody deals with it.
I see. Show me.
He can't keep anything to himself.
this way, nothing could exist at all. No light and no darkness.
Someone's got to do the work.
Someone's got to do the work.
You look a little worse for wear. Haven't slept in a long time, have you?
Too long, I should say.
Come on, step closer. With me, you'll find what you're looking for.
That's what I've always said.
You said that you've got what I need. Does that include information?
But of course, what is it you want to know?
Really, how interesting.
Are there any other traders here at the harbor?
If you keep to the left at the quay, you'll find Helvor, my husband. He sells fish. On the other side, there's Brahim, the cartographer.
Do you know anyone from the upper quarter?
If I knew anyone up there, I wouldn't be standing here, my boy.
What interesting things are there to see around the harbor?
Well, if you're looking for some action, you can go down to Cardiff's Inn at the quay. There's always something brewing there. You can hardly miss it. The guy standing by the entrance there will certainly draw your attention to it. Besides that, there's the large ship of the Paladins, the King's stately war galley. That one's really worth seeing. You'll find it if you keep left at the quay and then pass under the high rock face.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
You could say so. It wasn't that long ago. A thief ran by here. He must have stolen a bow in the lower part of the city. Of course, the militia came here way too late, like always. He got away from them, just jumped into the harbor, and he was gone.
Show me your wares.
Boy, that lunatic's hammering is wearing me down.
Who are you talking about?
Can't you hear that hammering? Who do you think hammers all day long in the harbor district? I mean that lunatic felon. He takes the hammer to his hut every day.
I could take care of Felon.
You want to help me? What's in it for you?
You tell me.
Oh, that's how it is. All right, if you can get him to stop hammering, I'll pay you 25 gold pieces. But I'll tell you one thing right now. You can't talk to the guy. He's nuts. The only thing that will help is a few decent punches.
That's really not my problem.
I'll see what I can do.
You can think about it. Remember, I'll pay you 25 gold coins.
Are those your sheep?
The only one that belongs to me is the one that answers to the name of Lucy. That's my wife, Lucy. The sheep belong to the militia. All the sheep they collect from the farmers, they bring to me.
And how are the sheep?
Felon's hammering is going to drive them crazy. One of these days, they'll go completely to pieces.
Hey! Why are you hammering?
For days now, I've been desperately trying to fix the leaks in my house. The rafters have been crumbling away ever since we had those rainfalls recently. Soon everything's gonna come down around my ears.
Who to believe these days?
Wait a minute. Could you stop hammering?
No, I have to finish this.
Bad business.
Stop that hammering or I'll break every bone in your body.
Forget it, or I'll knock some sense into your head with my hammer.
I don't believe that.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't surprise me.
He says things like that.
You'll...
And he works all day, too.
Nobody will learn anything from me. That's been known a long time.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
I don't believe that.
Nobody will learn anything from me. He never would have thought of that himself.
He simply talks too much.
Go away. Don't tell me that.
I'm not telling you anything new. I never knew that.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Don't you try that again.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so you beat me. Some heroic deed that was.
If I
Will you stop hammering now, or do I have to thrash you again?
No, don't hit me anymore. I'll stop. But if everything collapses around here, it'll be your fault.
Is it really true?
Felon will hammer no longer.
Hear that? No more hammering. At last, I thought the fellow would never quit. You've done me a huge favor. You know what? I'll give you 30 gold pieces.
And how are the sheep?
The sheep eat and get fatter and fatter. Just like my wife.
Inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. By reason of the imminent danger of an attack by orcs, each inhabitant of the city is to prepare himself accordingly. Everyone is to begin training in the skills of combat.
What are you doing here?
And to arm himself.
This is my home. But if you mean, what do I do all day? I arrange fights.
You arrange fights?
Every day, from noon until evening. And right here, behind the warehouse in the Harbor District. Home sweet home.
What are the rules for the fight?
Quite simple. All regular weapons are allowed, no bows or crossbows, and no magic. We fight until one of us drops. And as soon as one of us is flat on his back, it's over. Got it? Whoever leaves the ring is out. So if you quit, I win. The stake is 50 gold coins. If you win, you get 100 back. If not, well, then your money is down the drain. Got it?
Yep. I want to fight against you.
Do you have 50 gold pieces?
Here you are.
We have a new challenger. The bets are placed. Are you ready?
Come here.
Then let's see what you can do.
Inhabitants of Khorinis, martial law, all civilian to the Honorable Lord on every
What you waiting for?
Get him.
Boy. Don't stop now.
Get him.
Boy. Don't stop now. What you waiting for? Don't stop now. Don't stop now.
Give it your all. Not bad.
Ah, my head. Oh, man. You packed quite a punch. Here's your 100 gold pieces. You've earned them. And one more thing. No one talks about what goes on behind the warehouse. The militia puts everyone who does the slightest thing here behind bars. And those boys don't like to see betting on fights.
Hear ye,
I want to fight against you.
Nah. Before I go up against you again, I need a better weapon. I had to sell my sword a few days ago. With that, baby, I'm unbeatable. If you get it back from me, I'll take you on again.
Furthermore, any
You live behind the warehouse?
It's only temporary. When you have as much gold as I do, you can afford a little luxury. I was a drill instructor in the army, but I left that bunch to seek my fortune in adventure. Now I've wound up in this shithole. My last 100 gold pieces went to the guards at the city gate. So, I'm seeing to it that I come into money again. I even had to sell my sword.
To whom did you sell the sword?
I swapped it with a trader in the marketplace for some stuff. The guy's called Jorah. The torches and the bit of meat that he gave me are long used up.
He isn't likely to give me the sword for nothing.
It's an old sword. He won't want much for it. Just think of the money as an extra stake for the fight.
What do you know about the war against the orcs?
There's not much to tell. The war's been going on for too long. The country people are starving. Everywhere there are peasant revolts that are put down mercilessly by the king. But there's just too many of them. If the war doesn't end soon, the realm will fall apart.
Can you train me?
As long as you have the necessary experience, sure.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following...
That's really not my problem.
What are you doing here?
I'm building a ship because I want to get out of here as fast as I can. But the way it looks right now, this ship will never be finished.
Why are you in such a hurry?
Soon the orcs will come and burn down the city.
What makes you think that?
Boy, have you noticed the paladins running around everywhere? Why do you think they're here? I tell you, they're here because the orcs will attack soon, and that won't be pretty.
Can I help you somehow?
Yes, you can. Find out what the paladins are planning. I want to know why they're here. And I have to know if the orcs will attack and how far from the city they are. One of the bastards was even seen outside the city. Just bring me all the information you can get. I need to know how much time I have left to finish the boat.
What's going on at the harbor?
The orcs are breathing down our necks and you're asking about the harbor?
I only wanted to...
The biggest problem we have is that there aren't enough ships in the harbor to get us out of here. To be honest, there's only one ship here, and that belongs to the paladins. They certainly won't let us get out of here with that.
Why can't you finish your ship?
Oh, we have thousands of problems. The hull still isn't stable, and it's still missing a lot of boards. But I have hardly any gold left to buy new material with, and the last delivery had bugs in it. My boys don't work productively. One wants a fast ship above all else, the other one is worried about the figurehead. As if we didn't have more important things to do. Also, one of my people is simply not showing up for work anymore. I'm beginning to fear that this will delay the construction even more.
You're one worker short?
Yes. His name's Monty. He's vanished into thin air. That lazy pig is probably living the high life on a farm somewhere. I should never have paid him in advance.
When was the last time you saw Monty?
He hasn't bothered to show up for work for at least 2 days.
I've heard that other people have gone missing too.
Just what I'm saying. That's where the evil starts. Farum the fisherman told me something similar. His buddy William is no longer around. I bet that the orcs are behind all this.
Where can I find this Farum?
He's a fisherman. I think that his hut is near the provision store of the Paladins, but I don't know for sure.
What are you doing here?
My name is Brahim. I draw maps and sell them. Since you're new here, maybe you could use a map of the city? It's quite affordable, and very useful until you know your way around.
Nobody ever asks me.
Is it true that some townspeople have simply vanished?
So I've heard, but I'm not sure whether it's really true. Just look around you. Does this rat hole look like the place where you want to spend your golden years? Small wonder that people are getting themselves out of here.
Hey, you!
Ahoy, you landlubber. Looks like you're stranded here. You look a bit pale around the gills. Never mind, my lad. All you need is a good stiff sea breeze.
What are you doing here?
Back when I was a young man, I went to sea and rode through many a big storm.
As if I didn't have enough.
No big deal, not at all. But that old tower came closest to what I call a home. I haven't been up there in ages.
Why not?
Ever since these scallywags took over my lighthouse, I haven't dared get closer to it than 20 feet. Really bad rabble, that. They're criminals from the Valley of Mind, you know. There was this big bang on the other side of the mountain, and they swarmed all over the land like flies. Now they're hiding out everywhere, even in my lighthouse. I think they're on the lookout for any ship they can raid. Ah, let them. Then at least they'd be out of my tower.
Do you come to town often?
I always say a town is only as good as its harbor. A harbor is the gate to the world. That's where everyone meets and where everything starts. Once the harbor goes to the dogs, the rest of the city will follow soon.
Tell me about the harbor.
The harbor of Khorinis isn't what it used to be. There's nothing but riffraff hanging about. The ships don't come anymore, and trade is dead. This harbor's about to go under.
So why don't you leave?
Nobody would take an old sea dog like me on his ship these days. Most people think that old Jack's got the gout in his rotten old bones.
And? Are they right?
Balderdash. Once I've got those planks beneath me feet again, I'll feel like a young whippersnapper.
What do you mean by riffraff?
Look at them, the lazy rabble. Most of them don't even know what work is. All they do is drink all day and spend their last pay at the brothel. I tell you, stay away from them.
Why are the ships no longer coming?
They all say that once the war is over, everything will be like it used to be. That's a load of bilge water. I tell you, a sailor can see when a town's going downhill. A sailor feels that in his blood. And I can tell you, forget about this harbor. Its heyday's over.
Hey, you!
It's really not my problem. I have talked to Baltram. He will find someone to relieve you.
Ah, very good. Then we can finally leave here. You had better keep my Aquamarine Ring for now. I assume it will come in handy for you until you get your own.
You don't have to ask me. That doesn't surprise me.
Hey! How are things?
If you want something to drink, you'll have to order it.
I bet you overhear a lot of things.
So what's that to you?
I've always got an open ear for news.
Have you got your purse open then? Every piece of information I give you will cost 10 gold pieces.
I'll give you no more than 5 for your information.
What? 5 gold pieces? Are you trying to ruin me? Let's make it 7.
No, it doesn't work that way. Let's say 6.
You're a scoundrel, you know that? Well, if you insist, let's say 6 gold pieces for each piece of information.
Give me something to drink. I need information. Who counts among the influential citizens in this town?
You won't find anyone down here at the harbor. The only powerful man here is Lamar. The Moneylender is not very popular, but he has gold, and other influential citizens owe him money. The merchants and craftsmen also have a lot of influence. Too much, if you ask me.
Who's in debt to Lamar?
If you want to know that, you should take a look in his ledger. Only it might be pretty difficult to do that without him noticing. As far as I know, he always carries it with him.
Where can I find work?
You're not likely to find work down here at the harbor. You need to go to the craftsman in the lower part of town for that. But if you wield a decent blade, you could go challenge Ulrich. He fights for gold behind the warehouse.
What do you know about the missing citizens?
All I know is that some people have vanished during the last few days. It's especially bad down here at the harbor, they say. Maybe you should ask around here a bit. There were some cases in the lower part of the city, too. If you want to know more, you should talk to Corrigan. He has his tavern in the lower part of town, and he's likely to hear a thing or two. Halvor, the fish merchant down by the quay, might know something too. Many people frequent him.
Who can teach me something here?
There are a few competent people here in the harbor district. Carl the blacksmith is a sturdy fellow. I'll bet he can show you how to get stronger. Ulrich knows a lot about fighting, and Laris is a cunning rogue. He's down here at the harbor sometimes as well. And if you're crazy enough to go see old Ignaz, he knows all about potions.
Where can I find all these people?
Oh, boy, the king will have won his war against the orcs before I've done explaining that to you. Just look around the harbor district and you're bound to find them. And if you don't know your way about, go to Braham and buy yourself a map. He's easy to find. His hut is right next to my tavern. I should have charged double for that one.
Is there any special work to be had around here where I could make some quick money?
Something special, you say? Go talk to Nagur then. Maybe he can help you.
Got anything special for me to do?
I've got something for you, but that should only interest you if you're a man of versatile talents.
What have you got?
Well, Zorus, the potion vendor in the marketplace, currently has a guest, Darren the fire magician.
And?
He had a new chest made specially for him by Thorben the carpenter. They say that this Darren has bought a bunch of valuable stuff with him. But you didn't hear that from me, understand?
Give me something to drink.
That was obvious all along.
Hey! Cardiff says you may have a job for me.
Well, well. So you're looking for a special job. Okay. But we play by my rules, understood?
What does that mean?
That means you do what I say and you get a third of the profits. If you don't like it, then there's no job.
We're business partners, so it's 50-50.
Okay. I thought I'd give it a shot. Of course, we'll split our profits fairly.
All right, what's your plan?
You know the merchant Baltram, don't you? If not, it's time you talk to him. This Baltram has a messenger who supplies him with goods from Akhil's farm. That is, he had a messenger. Until I cut his throat. And now Baltram has to get a new one, and that will be you. Your job is to get hired by Baltram and fetch the delivery from Akhil. You bring it to me, and then I'll sell it on to an interested customer. He'll fork over a tidy little sum for it. And just don't try selling the stuff yourself. Have you got all that?
How much will the profit be?
I can't say exactly, but I estimate around 400 gold pieces.
Where is Akhil's farm?
Leave the city by the east gate. That's directly on the marketplace. If you follow the road to the right, you'll soon come to a few steps cut into the rock. Go up there, and you'll come to Akhil's farm.
When should I talk to Baltram?
You can go right away. He should know by now that his messenger won't be showing up anymore.
Where can I find Baltram?
He has his stall in the marketplace.
Well then, I'm all set.
Good. Then get on your way. But if you try to cheat me, you'll soon be every bit as dead as the messenger. Don't forget.
Those are all just rumors. I'm not telling you anything new.
Hey, you! Where you going? No matter what your plans are, there'll be plenty of time later. You're right in front of the Pearl of Khorinis, the Red Lantern. This is the most beautiful brothel in all of Myrtana, damn it. Sailors from the most remote corners of the world dock here just to spend a few nights in the Red Lantern. And now, it's you who has the chance, nay, the honor of spending a night with Nadia, the most passionate flower of the gods. Come on in, and you're going to experience what others cannot even dream of.
And it's gonna get even worse.
That will never change.
Are you the one who runs this place?
I am Bromo, this is my house, and these are my girls. I like my girls. And if you like my goods too, then you'll pay for it 50 gold pieces. And don't get the idea of making trouble here.
Are all your girls accounted for?
Of course they are. Or do you think I want to go to jail over something like that?
I wasn't asking about your payroll. I mean, are they all present, or have any gone missing?
Oh yeah. Actually, one of my girls has up and left. Her name's Lucia. I reported it to the militia too, but they claim they haven't found a trace of her yet.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
How long has Lucia been missing?
Several days. I don't know exactly how long. I assume she ran off with one of her suitors, eh? That bitch made off with part of my savings, a really valuable golden dish, eh? If I get hold of her, I'll give her what for. So how is that any business of yours, huh? Do you want to have fun or not?
That's not what my husband thinks.
Talk to Bromar if you want to have some fun.
Go away, don't tell me that. That's terrible.
No idea. You tell me.
Someone's got to do the work.
Hey, do you need fish? Get your fish here, fresh from the depths of the sea.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Show me your fish.
That was obvious all
I don't believe that.
Can you tell me something about those missing people?
Missing people? This is a harbor, pal. Things like that are bound to happen. The sea is treacherous and bound to claim a life now and then. Captains of large vessels will always sign on new sailors in a large seaport such as Khorinis to complete their cruise. And if they don't find any volunteers, some people may get dragged off against their will, and then they're gone.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Are you missing someone?
Me? No.
Do you know of anyone who's gone missing?
No idea. Ask the shipbuilders.
I used to say that myself.
What ship would that have been?
Good question. Not many ships have come into Khorinis lately. That is true.
Someone's gonna pay for that.
I'm staying out.
His deeds were just.
I'm no better off myself.
Nobody wants to know.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Hey, you have no business up here. Only paladins and those of us in the militia have access here.
What's up here then?
This is the provisions store of the Royal Guard of the Paladins. I am the provisions master here, and I'm responsible for seeing to it that none of the paladin stuff goes astray, and you're not wanted here. So keep your hands to yourself or I'll chop them off.
Laris sent me. He said you could help me.
So? He did? Then fire away. What do you want from me?
I want to join the militia.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? We don't just take on ragbags like you for no good reason. You'd probably have to.
Spare me the drivel. Tell me what I have to do to join you.
Okay. Then pay attention. The job of the provisions master is hell, let me tell you. Managing all the crates and sacks in this place is bad enough. But every time I spend an evening in Cardiff's tavern, someone busies himself with the crates here, and when I come back the next morning, something is missing. Strangely enough, the paladins never see anything. I'm going crazy. I can't spend the entire night standing around here like an idiot. You, on the other hand...
I get it. I'm supposed to keep watch here while you hang around in the tavern.
Take it or leave it.
I'll watch over your provisions crates tonight.
Sweet. Good. Then come back tonight and keep an eye on the stuff here. In the meantime, I'll be in Cardiff's tavern.
Can you sell me any of the paladin stuff?
You want to buy? Let's say that if you could compensate me for the trouble that will arise from the paladin's things wandering off, then we might be able to do business.
Does that happen often? Things going astray?
As long as the provisions master says that everything is right, no.
I see. All the crates still there?
Go ahead and laugh at me. You stand on the pier all day and try to watch over all the chaos. The paladins drag so much rubbish along that it isn't funny.
What do you have to offer?
Then pay attention.
You're looking for the man who is selling weapons to the bandits?
Says who?
Says Vatras.
Oh. What do you know about it?
Not much, but I could find out more.
Ah. Is that so?
Tell me, what do you know about the weapons dealer?
Listen, we know that an influential citizen in the upper quarter must be behind it, and some of the weapons are even supposed to have come from the militia's supplies. We still don't know exactly who's behind it. If you have enough guts to take on a group of at least 5 bandits, maybe you can find out.
What about the bandits?
We know that the bandits are currently blockading the roads that connect the farmers to the city. Besides that, I know that there must have been a weapons delivery in the last few days. Maybe some clues to uncover the weapons dealer can be found with the bandits.
About the weapons dealer? What was that again?
Listen, you're supposed to find out who's behind the weapons deliveries to the bandits and bring me proof. But it has to be really incriminating evidence, otherwise I can't arrest the guy.
Hey, you! You're a fisherman?
Now, how did you ever guess that? Can't you simply leave me alone? Don't take it personally, but I haven't been too happy lately. It's that militia.
Trouble with the militia?
Those bastards keep coming here and taking whatever they want. Last week, they made off with my entire catch. It's for a good cause, they said. I know that everybody's got to fend for himself since the farmers have stopped trading. And of course, sometimes people just go hungry. Small wonder that they're snatching the fish from right under my nose. But if they keep doing this, I won't even have enough to feed myself.
Have you talked to the paladins about this?
Are you joking? Do you really think they'd be interested if a poor devil like me has his problems with the militia?
Maybe I can help you.
I don't know. I suppose you'd have to know somebody from the militia who has connections to the paladins. The paladins will hardly buy the fish from me.
I shall see what I can do. Can you tell me something about the missing people?
My friend William started hanging out with a bunch of shady characters. And where did it get him? One day he simply didn't show up for work. And that's the last we saw of him.
Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big for his boots, I should add. He should have stayed well away from that bunch.
When did you last see him?
Only a few days ago.
Maybe he just went out to sea to fish.
That's not very likely. His boat is still moored in the harbor.
What's he been up to?
William had some shady dealings with those crooks. I think it was all about contraband that he sold to the bastards.
What bastards would those be?
I don't know who they are or what their business is here in Khorinis. I only know the place where they met up with William. I just happened to see William there when I was fishing in the bay.
Where exactly is that meeting place?
There's a bay opposite the harbor, north of here. You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there, and a small fishing camp. That's where I saw them.
I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
So, how are the fish biting?
I've seen better times. Too little to live on, too much to die.
Hey, you! Farum the fisherman has problems with the militia. The boys are constantly stealing from him.
And what do I have to do with it?
You have a certain amount of influence up here with the paladins. Farum needs your protection. He's willing to give you a part of his catch for it.
I see what you mean. Fish. As if I didn't have enough crap to deal with. Tell your pal he should come to me and tell me exactly what's up with the militia. I'll take care of it.
Hey! I know how to resolve your trouble with the militia.
And how would that be?
Martin, the provisions master of the Paladins, wants to hear your story about the militia and the fish.
And you think he can make the militia leave me alone?
At least that's what he said.
Great, thank you. I cannot give you much, but wait. I found this strange blue stone on one of the islands off the coast of Khorinis. I don't think it's worth a whole lot, but someone like you will certainly find a use for it.
I'm not touching that.
I can't believe that. You don't have to talk.
Do you really think?
I'm no better off myself much.
What are you cooking there?
Oh, fish soup. It's not all that tasty, but at least it's hot. You can try a plateful, if you like.
What can you tell me about the city?
Most citizens in this town are afraid of thieves. Therefore, it's not a good idea to enter strange houses. But if you're looking for a place to stay overnight, you're welcome to sleep in my hut. There's an extra bed that you can have.
Aren't you afraid of thieves?
The only valuable thing that I ever owned has already been taken. Oh, someone stole my statue of Enos.
Could you cook me some soup?
I cook for everybody. For you too, if you want. All you need to do is bring me a fish.
Could you cook me some soup?
Nothing could be simpler. Here, have a plate.
Could you cook me some soup?
No, not today. Come back tomorrow. I don't believe that.
Who says things like that?
I don't believe that.